I've been a runner for many, many years, and I like ultra running specifically. I like trail running. In 2021, I was doing a run with a group and had a traumatic brain injury. Because of that run, I fell and tripped and hit my head really bad. And so after that, I wasn't running much and then getting back into it and um, doing all the things I thought I was doing to make it successful. But in 2023, my hip started hurting, my right hip. And then it would get better. And then it resolved enough. And then my left hip started hurting. And I kept training through it and just thought, okay, I can still run. It's not the worst. But while I was running in a 50K race, it just felt like it exploded. And then it calmed down after the race. I finished. It was really hard, but I finished. And afterwards, I just took a break for a week. And then the next run I tried to do that was really easy, it was even worse pain. So I just backed off for a long time. Come to the beginning of 2024, I was feeling better just by Band-Aid fixes. I could string together a little bit of running. I did a backyard ultra on 6 weeks of training and made it 20 something miles. That's not much, but then my hip started hurting after that. And it just I would try everything. I think I tried turmeric, glucosamine, fish oil, physical therapy, ART. I bought something called a hip hook. I was doing everything, and I'm working with a personal trainer. So I'm not all that far off track trying to, do all the strengthening, but nothing was really getting to the root problem of my hip pain. And then I kid you not, I listened to Dr. Jessica's informational video, 45 minutes at night, it just mesmerized at how much that connected with this pain that I was having, because I kept describing this really deep, deep hip pain that you couldn't feel it on the surface. You couldn't massage it out. It just never resolved with traditional formats of what I was doing. And when she talked about that, I just said, I know that's it. This has to be it. And I am so glad I took the risk of saying, I'm going to try this, because I have had amazing success with my results. It made me nervous at first when I was hearing about the program, that there was accountability. You had to show your progress, show your work and meet with people. That somewhat scared me at first. But I was just willing to do anything because I love running that much. And I will tell you, that is actually the accountability and the meeting with everybody online is what helped make it work. It helped the tracking and the progress reports, or interactions. It helped motivate me to actually do it and not just say I did it. And I saw results because of that. I have been able to consistently ran 8 miles on Sunday, all trail, which I love. I was able to hike in Colorado and do a little bit of running on Hope Pass, which, that's not an easy feat. I've done some cycling that didn't bother it as much, but I've done it without hesitation. I did a 5K trail race just 2 weeks ago and got first in my age group and third overall. And it's a small race, but the fact that I could do that, I could run really hard, difficult trails, and I had zero hip pain. So next year I'm planning to run much farther in a backyard ultra. I'm choosing some hard ones, and I'll do some other things in there. But I never could have signed up for races a year out with the chronic hip pain I was experiencing all this year and last year. I just couldn't do that. And this has given me the security to know if I want to train for a really big race next year, I can do that. anytime that I do sense like something's not feeling right, like stress really impacts my pelvic floor and my hip pain. If I feel that stress creeping in and things are not feeling just right, I have the tools now so that I can quickly do some mobility exercises, and within an hour or within a day, I'm back to feeling great. Just this morning while I was making oatmeal, I was doing some of the staggered forward hip hinge. I don't know if that's the technical term, just because it was feeling a little off, and I have no problem now. So I feel like I've already been successful. I've run a race. I've got a half trail race coming up. And while they're not going to be my fastest, I can do it. And then I can do some really big goals for next year. I am just thrilled. I can't even tell you how much joy it brings me to go on a run and not wonder if I'm going to regret it. It just is so gratifying. There are multiple people supporting you. It's not just one physical therapist thinking they identify the problem and therefore do these prescription exercises. The mobility exercises fit exactly where my deficits were. And then if that was not quite the right approach, I could talk to someone and revise it and add something in. The other thing I loved about this, and I did not think that this would matter so much, but I love that I can take half an hour or an hour in my workday between all my appointments and do this online with a real person and get a real connection with them. I feel like I had more of a connection with the providers in this program than I have at a medical office. I can't explain that. But the great thing about that is the efficiency. I did not have to travel somewhere. I did not have to wait in a waiting room. And I got very, very personalized information. And that was so meaningful to me. I just think the efficiency and the ability, this team is so fantastic. Their ability to talk to all of the participants and to each other to make sure that the communication is really strong and you get the best outcomes for what you need. If you're looking for freedom from hip pain, take a risk. It is incredible when you find out the right solution for you. This program with Dr. Jessica and her team and the Healthy Hips formula was the right program for me. But I spent so much time and so much money prior to that trying to figure out all the things that this could be. And I wish I would have found this sooner, but I think I found it at the right time as well, just because it built up on all the other things that were not working. So don't give up on all that you want to accomplish, no matter how old you are. Like even just the Facebook meetings where you could join other people. It was people experiencing similar struggles, and it validated that, okay, this is a real issue that can be addressed. And I would also say, if you're skeptical, ask all the questions. Don't be afraid that any question is going to be awkward or embarrassing. There are so many things that go into our well-being and our human bodies and our health that the more honest we are with what the struggle is and how we're feeling and asking those questions, the better results we're going to get.